He said, Uncle Bill, I found her name. It isn't Miller. I said, what is it? And it was changed by Presbyterian Church. And by the way, we had some cool missionaries, so a lot of that doesn't go on down in history. So, and there's this race issue going on, which I hate it because we're part of the human race. That's the only race we have. But Jonathan Edwards loved our people. I don't know if you know the story about him. He was one of the top missionaries in Christian history. And the Queen of England was punishing Jonathan Edwards because he said, you people, you shouldn't be taking these people, these Indian people, and cutting their hair and taking off their beadwork and doing this stuff to them. They know God as much as we do. Just let's just share our faith in Christ with them. I want to do that. They said, well, good, you can spend 6 years over there. They shipped Jonathan Edwards to my tribe. And our tribe met him in Stockbridge, Massachusetts after the Revolutionary War. And therefore we accepted Christ then, way back when. And then we took names. So our names were changed. So there was a name given to my family, and it was Miller. But we had a name before, and it is Matosin or Matoxin, that's how it's pronounced because we didn't have written language. Matoxin in Mohican means stone tree. So that's my real name. But during the process, I just found that out. I don't use it, I wrote a song and sing it. But I was given names throughout my life. My first name I was given in a ceremony in Oklahoma was by a Creek Indian medicine man. His name was Bearheart, and he loved me, and he touched my heart. And pipestone, I don't know if you know what that is, but it comes from Minnesota. The only place in the world that's a quarry of red stone, nowhere else in the world. And they say to me, the natives of Minnesota say, that's the blood of God. And we're meant to make these pipes to pray. Now, history and our history books, and even we learned that these pipes were called peace pipes, correct? They're not peace pipes. The only reason that the historians and the government call them peace pipes is because every time we sign a treaty, well, we use the pipes to pray over to make sure you kept your promise, and they are all broken. And faith gets broken. But these are sacred pipes. So sacredness is a big part of what I do now. My name by that man is Fushiaheka, means bird song. And I love birds. I love them so much. I mean, I don't worship birds, but I just love birds. So the first two songs I'll do for you are about birds. First one I'll do for you is a blessing song, because tonight's concert is for this man up in front. Pastor Bryan has given his life to worship, but mainly allowing people to have their bloodlines connected to the Spirit, as I do as a musician. And I want some healing to happen tonight. I mean, I can't, I'm not God. But I'm praying that there's going to be some big healing happening tonight, because that's why I'm here. I'm not here with Pearl Jam like it was. No, it's funny too, when I toured with them, why do American acts have to hire a British woman to come out? And she came out in front of us here. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is America. Would you please make welcome Pearl Jam? I don't need a Brit to tell me it's Pearl Jam or it's Bill Miller. Just be your dang self, you know. We are who we are. And so the first song we'll do is a double flute. And it's a key of D minor. Now, what you do with the Convergence Project, I see it in there, is that he's not only doing spiritual songs and spiritual music from the basis of our beliefs and his beliefs in God, but he's converging, that word convergence, our spirits with music. Somewhat is scientific, but it's not. It's spiritual. We call it, I've played a lot of symphonic pieces too before, and I found out that there's such a thing called sympathetic tones, and they're in life. And sympathetic tones come from a 12-string guitar, there's another string in there, or they come from a piano that's playing a D minor, there's a viola playing D minor, there's a piccolo playing D minor, but they're different tones, and when it all works together, that whole thing converges, and you get a whole tone. You get something happening, like spirits flying around the room. That's what we should be doing when we speak peace. I'm here for peace. I'm done suffering under an alcoholic father, went to prison, died an alcoholic. I'm done being treated less than what I'm worth, and that doesn't mean just me, it means you too, all these things. I just want peace. At my age, it comes to the point where I want to live in the present tense. You know, I'm 70 now, and I'm still cranking it out. If that isn't encouraging to you elders out there, it should be, because I faced many health problems. the poster. Let me go back to the poster before I start the song that Dawn put out that shows me and Art Shegonee. You know where that was? It was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They pulled me in. And I did a show for Johnny Cash. And it was right after my heart failure. This man stayed with me for 2.5 weeks in the hospital on a chair while they said I would die and I'd live. Because Art was there. I believe Art was the only guy who came and saved me. I was divorced for a few years. My kids didn't know how to get a hold of me, and I'd given up on life, but Art was there. And I'll never be able to repay that. That's a true friend. He's still a jerk sometimes. But it shows him, and I'm singing The Ballad of Ira Hayes by Johnny Cash. You know, and that was about a Marine, a true man who was still celebrated in Arizona. He was an award-winning Marine who drank himself to death. He died in a mud puddle. I don't know if you know that story, but he was at Iwo Jima. That's his hand going up to the American flag. That's Ira Hayes. He led that group up there to conquer that hill. And so be aware that there's some important people here tonight, all of you. But to me, I see friends that I've known and other people I don't even know, so maybe I can meet you later. When I'm done playing, I'm definitely going to hit the men's room right because I'm 70. Yeah. But there's people here tonight you don't even know. I'm not going to tell them, but there's a woman here. She's supporting me. She's my sister, and she's got direct relations to one of the biggest. Well, the last name is Hallis from Chicago Bears, and her life has intersected with mine not because of football, not because of money, but because of love of this land and respect she has for Native people, and just true love and peace.